Guys, we have some groundbreaking stuff happening for Bitcoin right now. And today I'm going to show you a couple of very important charts. So if you are wondering whether the cycle top was at $74,000, then I have news for you because there's a couple of charts suggesting otherwise. So guys, make sure to stick around from the beginning until the end of this video. Welcome back everybody, my name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So let's get straight into it. And on the 4-hourly time frame, guys, not a lot has changed. We have had a pump up to 62,400. Since then, we've been going sideways. And you can see that we're forming a little bit of a pattern here on the 4-hourly time frame, which means that we are likely, this is a bearish pattern. Well, so there's a couple of things to take note of here. If you just zoom out and look at this entire thing, this is a bullish pattern because you're coming from a low, you're having a pump, and usually these kind of patterns, when you see consolidation, it tends to continue from the direction it is coming from. So in this case, we're coming from the upside, we are consolidating. Typically, it leads into another pump towards the upside. However, this pattern itself, the descending triangle in itself, if you just look at this in isolation, it is a bearish pattern, meaning that you have equal lows. So the lows are the same. However, the highs are going down and the highs are getting lower and lower the further we go here until you reach a point in which you typically see a breakout or a breakdown. But yes, in itself, this triangle in itself, typically a little bit of a bearish bias. However, if you look at the entire thing here, it becomes a more bullish pattern as you are coming from a pump, you're consolidating, which typically leads into higher prices. So that is all good on the 4-hourly time frame and nothing to worry about too much there. Of course, there's a couple of very important things we need to talk about when it comes to the macroeconomical situation, but just know that the next level of major resistance is at 63,100. So if we can see a breakout from this pattern I just showed you towards the upside, then I do think it's likely that we go up and test the $63,000 level. So that is all great. If you look at the 2-day chart, you can see that we are somewhere almost halfway through here is where we went down. Since then, we have had a little bit of a pump. This one is currently at 64,500, and that is definitely something to keep our eyes on. But I want to show you another point of resistance, and that is the 200-day moving average. You can see we are in a very interesting place here when we got supported of the 50-day moving average, which is this orange moving average. And now we are going up, and the next level of resistance on the moving averages is this green line, which is the 200-day moving average. So those are some of the immediate support and resistance levels we need to pay attention to. For traditional markets, look at this, guys. Traditional markets doing really well, and on the weekly time frame, we closed a new weekly all-time high for traditional markets. So this is really, really good. And I do think that this is positive for the crypto markets as well. And I do think it's only a matter of time until Bitcoin goes on a massive run. I know I'm sounding like a broken record right now because I've been saying that for, well over 2 months. I've been saying it's only a matter of time until Bitcoin goes on a massive run. But admittedly, I mean, we have had a massive run so far. So we went even from $57,000 here. We went up to 66, and no, we went from $52,000 up to 66 in the last month. So that is still a very nice, healthy push towards the upside. But I do think that if we didn't see the Middle East stuff happening, I think that this trend would still be intact. We would still be looking at much higher prices at this point. But it happened, but I do think it's only a matter of time until we catch up again, get into this pattern, and we start to go up to much higher prices. So we will see, but that is what I am looking at. Now, let's look at some of the data that was released just a few days ago. So the US jobs market is stronger than anticipated. You can see that the unemployment rate was 4.1%. The expectation was actually 4.2%. And yeah, the jobs market is very strong. So this leads into the market not believing that we're going to see another 50 basis point rate cut. So if you look at what the market believes, they believe that during the next meeting, which is in November, they believe that we're going to have a 25 basis point rate cut. So, and even 2.6% believes that we are going to remain at the same levels that we are at right now, meaning no change. So the market believes 97% we're going to see 25 basis points. So that is most likely, unless something drastically changes here, that is on the 7th of November, probably the more likely scenario. However, there is a lot of important data coming out this week as well. So you have the Fed official speaking, you have the FOMC minutes, and then Thursday, the CPI inflation data, which is going to be very important, PPI on Friday. So what does the market expect here? So the market expects the inflation rate month over month to be at 0.1%. They believe core inflation to be at 3.1 and the inflation to be at 2.3. So if we come in lower here, guys, if we come in at like 2.1 or 2 even, that means that we are actually at the target in which the Fed are aiming for. So that is good that we get the inflation under control. And that means that depending on the jobs data that's going to come out as well, economical data in general, we're in a good place. We're in a good place. Inflation is under control, somewhat under control. This is what the Fed wants to see. Jobs market looking pretty strong. And we have a lot of room to stimulate the economy by cutting interest rates. So I would say we are at a pretty good place right now, guys. The only thing that we need to think about as well right now is, of course, the situation in the Middle East. And the latest when it comes to that is the New York Times reporting that Iran's military has been placed on highest level of alert. Of course, this is not surprising. So Iran, they are ready to strike back if Israel does something against them. And Israel has said that they are going to do something. I thought it would happen this weekend. So far, it hasn't happened. So we will see about that. But we need to know that this is on the horizon. Something is going to happen. Hopefully, this will just de-escalate. I think that is going to happen, actually, that we're not going to see an escalation of this and things are not going to go completely bananas. But we will see, guys. We will see about that. Now, a couple of very important charts I want to show you. So this is the short-term holders realized price. And it is an important metric because if you look at the short-term holders, the price, the realized price, meaning the price in which they bought their Bitcoin at, you can see how relevant this is right here. We got rejected multiple times here and we got supported multiple times. So it is a very important metric to keep track of. Right now, we're actually below it. So I will keep track of this one because on the way up, we will meet resistance. It's currently at $63,000. So this is another level of resistance. But more importantly, this chart is very, very interesting. So this is the realized profit by whales. And what I want to show you is that typically when you have a cycle top, usually the whales take a lot of profit. You can see these green bars here spiking, meaning that the whales are taking huge profit on the way up to a top or at the local top, usually right above, like before a local top. And you can see it right here as well. Many spikes towards the upside when we went up to $69,000 right here. You can see also a lot of spikes when we went up to, well, this was 64 and this was 69. But the interesting thing is that right now, the cycle or the all-time high we had at $74,000, there was not a lot of whales that took profit at that point. So that would mean that this would go completely against every single time when we have seen the peaks previously, where you have seen the whales take profit. That didn't happen right here. So is this time different, or are we going to see a second massive bull run? And then you're going to see the same thing here. You're going to see the whales start to take profit, and we're going to repeat a similar pattern. For me personally, I think that is very likely, but this is something to keep our eyes on. Also, very good news in regards to the US elections. Donald Trump is taking the lead again. The election is happening in 30 days. So that is all great. And yeah, I will keep you updated on this as well. But guys, that is what I got for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.